this path with my heart on my sleeve. Faith in my soul, you better believe. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Life ain't easy, but I got His grace. Never alone in this fast-paced race. When I fall down, He lifts me up high. With Him beside me, I aim for the sky. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Through every storm, His light shining bright, guiding my steps through the darkest night. Holding me close when I am weak, lifting me up when my words can't speak. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Through every storm, His light shining bright, guiding my steps through the darkest night. Holding me close when I am weak, lifting me up when my words can't speak. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity.
In you light my darkest days, through the storm and all the haze. With you my fears just fade away. Your love turns all my nights to day. Even when the sky falls down, you keep me steady on the ground. In my heart, you're always found. With your love, I'm glory bound. Flame my sunshine, my endless light. In your love, the world feels right. Faithful through the hardest fight. With you, my love shines so bright. Through the pain and endless strain, you're my shelter from the rain. In your eyes, I see the flame of a love that won't wane. On the days I lose my way, you bring me back where I should stay. Guide me through the night today. In your arms I'm led to pray. Share my sunshine, my endless light. In your love the world feels right. Faithful through the hardest fight. With you my love shines so bright. Share my sunshine, my endless light. In your love the world feels right. Faithful through the hardest fight. With you my love shines so bright. stranger, cold and bare, no crown yet he would dare rise above them all through love. A path was paved by heaven above. Preaching in the streets, spreading light, healing every blind man's sight. Walked on water, calmed the storm. The world was never meant to conform. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins. Betrayed by those he came to save, still he walked into that grave. 3 days later stone was rolled, our salvation there foretold. From death to life he made the climb, defeated darkness every time. Now we sing in joyous sound for our King who wears the crown. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins. Lost in shadows where the demons play, chasing dragons night and day. In the alley of despair I lay, till I found a light to show the way. Needles whispered lies in my ear. Darkness cloaked my world with fear. Through the haze, a voice so clear called me back to skies so clear. Found my strength in the arms of grace. Washed my sins in the holy place. Through the trials I can embrace the path of light God set in place. Battles fought in the midnight hour, found my heart in his great power. Left the streets where shadows cower, beneath his love that makes me tower. Tears were shed but not in vain. Through the fire I'll rise again. Chains are broken, not restrained. In his name I feel no pain. Found my strength in the arms of grace. Washed my sins in the holy place. Through the trials I can embrace the path of light God set in place. Shed but not in vain. Through the fire I'll rise again. Chains are broken, not restrained. In his name I feel no pain.
Wearing my crown ain't a physical thing. Wanna give praise to the true King of Kings. Walking this path with my heart on my sleeve. Faith in my soul, you better believe. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Life ain't easy, but I got His grace. Never alone in this fast-paced race. When I fall down, He lifts me up high. With Him beside me, I aim for the sky. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Through every storm, His light shining bright, guiding my steps through the darkest night. Holding me close when I am weak, lifting me up when my words can't speak. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Through every storm, His light shining bright, guiding my steps through the darkest night. Holding me close when I am weak, lifting me up when my words can't speak. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity.
Lost in shadows where the demons play, chasing dragons night and day. In the alley of despair I lay, till I found a light to show the way. Needles whispered lies in my ear, darkness cloaked my world with fear. Through the haze, a voice so clear called me back to skies so clear. Found my strength in the arms of grace, washed my sins in the holy place. Through the trials I can embrace the path of light God set in place. Battles fought in the midnight hour, found my heart in His great power. Left the streets where shadows cower, beneath His love that makes me tower. Tears were shed but not in vain. Through the fire I'll rise again. Chains are broken, not restrained. In His name I feel no pain. Found my strength in the arms of grace, washed my sins in the holy place. Through the trials I can embrace the path of life were shed but not in vain. Through the fire I'll rise again. Chains are broken, not restrained. In His name I feel no pain. The time has come, it's getting real. Jesus in the sky we feel. Crowns and thrones, they all will bow. King of kings reigns here and now. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Trumpets sound, the angels sing. Voices rise in joy they bring. Light so bright it blinds our eyes. Jesus back, no disguise. Mountains move and oceans part. Every knee will know their heart. Truth revealed, no more disguise. See the Savior realize. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Streets of gold and gates of pearl. New Jerusalem unfurls. Peace and love forever reign. In His presence, no more pain. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Streets of gold and gates of pearl. New Jerusalem unfurls. Peace and love forever reign. In His presence, no more pain. Hashem, you light my darkest days. Through the storm and all the haze. With you my fears just fade away. Love turns all my nights to day. Even when the sky falls down, you keep me steady on the ground. In my heart, you're always found. With your love, I'm glory bound. Shine my sunshine, my endless light. In your love, the world feels right. Faithful through the hardest fight. With you, my love shines so bright. Through the pain and endless strain, you're my shelter from the rain. In your eyes, I see the flame of a love that won't wane. On the days I lose my way, you bring me back where I should stay. You guide me through the night to day. In your arms I'm led to pray. Shine my sunshine, my endless light. In your love the world feels right. Faithful through the hardest fight. With you my love shines so bright. Shine my sunshine, my endless light. In your love the world feels right. Faithful through the hardest fight. With you my love shines so bright. Born in a manger, cold and bare, no crown yet he would dare rise above them all through love. A path was paved by heaven above. Preaching in the streets, spreading light, healing every blind man's sight. Walked on water, calmed the storm. The world was never meant to conform. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins. Betrayed by those he came to save, still he walked into that grave. 3 days later stone was rolled, our salvation there foretold. From death to life he made the climb, defeated darkness every time. Now we sing in joyous sound, for our King who wears the crown. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins.
Wearing my crown ain't a physical thing. Wanna give praise to the true King of Kings. Walking this path with my heart on my sleeve. Faith in my soul, you better believe. I am a child of God, lifted his name. Through every trial, his love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living life ain't easy, but I got His grace. Never alone in this fast-paced race. When I fall down, He lifts me up high. With Him beside me, I aim for the sky. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Through every storm, His light shining bright, guiding my steps through the darkest night. Holding me close when I am weak, lifting me up when my words can't speak. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity. Through every storm, His light shining bright, guiding my steps through the darkest night. Holding me close when I am weak, lifting me up when my words can't speak. I am a child of God, lifting His name. Through every trial, His love stays the same. I am forgiven, I am set free, living my life for eternity.
The time has come, it's getting real. Jesus in the sky we feel. Crowns and thrones, they all will bow. King of kings reigns here and now. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Trumpets sound, the angels sing. Voices rise in joy they bring. Light so bright it blinds our eyes. Jesus back, no disguise. Mountains move and oceans part. Every knee will know their heart. Truth revealed, no more disguise. See the Savior realize. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Streets of gold and gates of pearl. New Jerusalem unfurls. Peace and love forever reign. In His presence, no more pain. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. Raise your hands, the King returns. Hearts on fire, praises burn. Judgment day, the end time clears. Feel the glory, no more tears. cold and bare, no crown yet he would dare rise above them all through love. A path was paved by heaven above. Preaching in the streets, spreading light, healing every blind man's sight. Walked on water, calmed the storm. The world was never meant to conform. He rose up high from the dust. In his name we place our trust. Took the cross for all our sins. In his grace our new life begins. Betrayed by those he came to save, still he walked into that.
Oh, I forgot to unmute. There we go. So, yeah, sorry for the long wait. I know that the countdown timer was there and sitting on 0 for quite a while, but yeah. So we're going to be watching this video by CG Girl again. I'm loving her content. She's fantastic. So it's about it. So she's a trafficking survivor, and she reacts to quite a bit of controversial type stuff. So she's going to be reacting to this Bonnie Blue woman. So I don't even know who that is. I haven't seen this video yet. Not like the last one where I saw sort of the first quarter of the video. So apparently this Bonnie Blue is recruiting barely legal boys. For what? I don't know. So yeah, we're going to take a little squiz at that and see what that's all about. So yeah, let's have a look. So I'll just get the screen over and let's check it out. So first of all, check out her channel and all that kind of stuff. So I've linked her in the description below in YouTube. So if you want to check that out, pop over to my YouTube to this stream there and click on the link. I might have it on my Facebook Live, all that kind of stuff as well, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So yeah, we're gonna check that out and see what that's all about, and yeah. Hang on, I don't know if I made my Facebook Live public or not. But yeah, we're gonna check that out, see what she has to say about that as well. Yeah, no, I didn't have it public. There we go. Now I've made it public. All right, so that's all good. So yeah, let's roll over, click play, and see what's going on.
So bring your friends, get me on my knees, and I'll give you time to remember.
And what about to all your family members that are queuing out there? Hi! You okay? Who's going first then? Me. You're going first? Do you want to spend 2 minutes with me alone, or double it and pass it to the next person?
You know the plan. I want to pleasure you, and I want to give you a lot of fun. So
Oh, it's another one of those.
I want to start off by just giving a trigger warning. This is a video that might make some people feel uncomfortable, and it's something that some people don't want to hear about, but it's a topic that I think needs to be discussed, especially with somebody who has been in the situations I have been in. There's a big reason why I want to talk about Bonnie Blue, and that is because as somebody who was trafficked and has experienced a lot of what I'm about to discuss about Bonnie Blue and why I believe she would be considered a modern pimp, so digital exploitation basically.
God.
And that it really lines up. I in no way, shape, or form am trying to market her by saying go subscribe to her stuff or anything. I want to open people's eyes and to say, like, this is a really bad person, and she is going to get her karma one day. So Thank you for watching. I know that
I'm not one big on the whole karma Buddhism type stuff, right? Excuse me. But to sit there and go around and purposely sexualizing yourself, that's all that's going to do is bring nothing but pain. And yeah, I don't know how women can do that to themselves. Like, it's just, it's a bit disappointing. Because when there's other women like this in the world, right? Hang on, which way is it? That way. Like with what's her name? Oh well, I'm drawing blank on her name again. I'm bad with names. Seizure Girl, yeah. So with people like Seizure Girl that have been through what they've been through, which is absolutely horrific, and I don't wish that upon anyone, not even my worst enemy. And then you have these, pretty little blondes floating around, completely, sexualizing themselves and putting themselves out there to be objects and all that kind of stuff. It's really, there are men out there that will find it attractive, but I find it rather off-putting. It's just not something that I find very appealing, and I don't think women should really degrade themselves to that point. Sorry to get all religious on you and everything, but God created woman for man, and they're a special, like you see these women trying to be men and that kind of stuff, and it's just like, you're degrading yourself by trying to become something less than, because God made you perfect and special the way you are. So yeah, anyway, here we go. Let's see what she has to say.
that this is a tough subject and it's not easy. It's not going to be easy for me to talk about it. It's probably going to bring up some past stuff, but let's get into the first video, and thank you for being here.
For filming herself having sex with teenagers and posting the footage online.
Oh,
She's
well.
been labelled a predator and has even been banned from Australia and thrown out of Fiji after planning to recruit the young men that she describes as barely legal to film with.
Bonnie says she's not doing anything illegal and doesn't sleep with anyone under the age of 18, but her critics say the men she's targeting are too young to understand the repercussions of what they're doing.
So
Yeah.
is she just...
That's a question we're all going to have to ask ourselves right now. Is what she's doing ethical, non-ethical? Is it really what we would call exploitation? I just want to read something here. A pimp is traditionally defined as someone who profits from the commercial sexual exploitation of others. This typically involves control, manipulation, and targeting of vulnerable individuals.
Yep.
While Bonnie may not operate in the shadows of street corners or an escort ring, her targeting of inexperienced young men for sexual content, which she then monetizes, aligns strikingly with this definition.
Yep.
Let's go to the next video.
How did you end up in this business and how did you describe your job?
Okay, so didn't know too much about the industry before I started, and it's as simple as filming videos and putting it online. I guess that's how I started.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
But you had a job in recruitment, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
So, well paid?
It's perfect. She used to have a job in recruitment. She has experience in that. She ends up recruiting people, and it's her nonchalantness is just like very striking. She really does think that what she's doing is normal, and I would guess, or acceptable, I'm gonna just take a wild guess that it's because the subscribers and all the people that she has is normalizing it, and so that's why she feels that what she does is completely and totally okay.
I didn't understand pleasure in sex as such. I didn't understand the educational side of things. So yes, it started off purely around money. But then as I got into it and as I educated myself in the industry, not only did I realise how much pleasure I received from it, but also how much there's a missing gap of educational, content online.
But how did...
Complete and utter excuse for doing something that is just unacceptable. I'm trying to think of how to say this. So The problem is that when she's targeting these younger audiences, inexperienced men, knowing their developmental stage makes them easy to manipulate. The prefrontal cortex isn't even fully developed, which is all about rational thinking and decision making and impulse control.
Well, doesn't the prefrontal cortex stop developing after 25? Is it like it's still underdeveloped until the age of 25? So she's targeting 18-year-olds. They're still, in a sense, immature, right? Yeah.
Doesn't fully mature until 25. This creates a
Oh, yeah.
ripe
I'd have said
environment
that.
for exploitation. Why do you think people cannot rent a car from a car rental place until they're 25? It The lack of emotional regard for the long-term harm reflects callousness and emotional detachment for her. She is emotionally detaching by saying, I'm only complying with the law, even though these people are just turning 18. So all of a sudden you go from 17 and then you turn 18 and all of a sudden you know and you have full, complete rational decision making and no impulse control. That's so absurd to even think about. This is why people who are trying to target that have escorting rings or trafficking rings, they want to target a younger person, is because they are easier to control. They're easier to get them to make decisions that it's just an easier thing. So this when she is saying I'm only complying with the law, what she has said is shifts the blame onto societal structures rather than acknowledging the inherent power imbalance and the ethical concerns. There is a power imbalance. She's making money off of vulnerable young men who look up to her and are like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna give me a good time, right? Yeah, I might." Sorry to Aussies. I had to do the impression. But it's like externalizing blame is a hallmark for moral disengagement.
I'm really glad she can find a bit of sense of humor behind it as well, instead of being extremely bitter about it. Like a lot of people that do this kind of content react to stuff that people are trying to normalize something that has affected them in their life, like that's caused them trauma and stuff like that. So, but she's, sitting there having a joke about it, having a laugh, sort of thing, doing impressions, pretty cool. So I thought that was rather good. She didn't do too bad with the Aussie impression, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see that she's still got a bit of a sense of humor about her, which is fantastic.
Engagement, a complete key manipulative tactic used by exploiters. Sorry, sometimes I can't say things right, but yeah, she's traditional pimps seek out vulnerable runaways, young women, financially unstable individuals, people that come from broken family structures. Bonnie's fixation on barely legal boys, some of which whom are virgins, mirrors this type of strategy. So as much as she wants to say whatever she's going to say, the facts is that she used to work in marketing. She knows how to market recruiting. She knows how to recruit people. And people need to start taking that at hand. Like, she knows what she's doing. And she's making an excuse for it. She really reminds me of somebody that I've met who seemed very robotic and like, yes, this is why I do this, yes. I would love to debate Bonnie as somebody who has been trafficked, and it wasn't just one person involved, it was multiple people involved, and including a woman that was involved in this situation. I would love to have a sit-down little chit-chat with her and let her know exactly what I think about somebody like her, because she is disgusting, despicable. To try to sit here and tell people there's not enough education out there online. Are you kidding me? There's so many videos and so much stuff out there educating people about this. You don't need to go and have people sign a consent form and tell them to line up and bring them in and do them for like 5 minutes or whatever you do it. in order to educate them. Education with something like sex takes years, not just one moment with Bonnie Blue. Okay, Bonnie?
Educating just yourself, or are you educating these people who are in their teens and, again, 18 and upwards?
So I'm still learning every day, but my content is educational to those that I'm sleeping with and those that are watching it.
And one of the things that you really reiterate any time where I've seen you talk about this at all is you say it's actually...
That's like trying to say that corn is like a sex education film. Like, really? Come on, man.
Actually one of the safest ways of people having sex or losing their virginity. Why?
So people say it's an unsafe environment, but I can't think of one situation where an 18-year-old has had sex, where there's security on the door, they've had to bring passport, they've had to sign consent forms, they've had to do a breathalyzer.
Right.
And then they're sleeping with someone that's educated and understands the industry. So what part of that is unsafe?
So in a practice...
My point exactly. She's learning every day. Yeah, because you don't just learn things about that type of situation overnight. You start to learn all this stuff, and she's making an excuse. Okay, I'm gonna say this as somebody who is not a psychologist, but somebody who has seen behaviors. I'm going to say that she has parallels in her brain and the way that she thinks that are almost psychopathic. It's predatory behavior focusing on the least capable of resisting manipulation. So like her focus on creating realistic content by involving inexperienced individuals reflects instrumental aggression, harming or using others as a means to an end, in this case, financial and social gain. So for this psychopathic parallel, that would be using others purely for profit or gain without emotional investment mirrors the psychopathic trait. Let's say this, for instance. How many of these young boys are going to take what she just did and feel, in a sense, exploited and open to an industry, and they're going to continue that and maybe do something else with it themselves?
It's like a lot of the victims of like child abuse and stuff like that. There's two routes that they can go down. One is they never want to be touched again, or two, they become overly sexual and that kind of stuff. So I know what she's saying here is that, like, even like the kids, like the 18-year-olds and that are going through this process and doing all this stuff, like, are they going to end up start to mirror the behavior that they've learned from her? Like that blue chick, what's her name? Bonnie Blue. So yeah, so you start to wonder, like, I think she's doing more harm than good than anything, really. Like, and I think Seizure Girls like really hit the nail on the head here, where like with psychopathic behavior, because she doesn't seem phased about it at all. Like, you see her in the interviews and that, like, she seems, like a little, like she's proud of what she's doing and she thinks she's doing good, and it's like every supervillain thinks they're the ones doing the right thing, let's see.
How many of them are going to also fall into addiction out of maybe regret, or they might feel away? How many of them might even unalive themselves? Will she feel any remorse or regret, or is she going to say, well, I helped a few of them, so that's all that really matters, I honestly think
she's mastering these
she's
accents.
A psychopath, and I think that she completely emotionally disengages in order to be able to say what she's doing is rational and safe and okay. It's not. It's not. This topic gets me fuming a bit, because
That's understandable.
I don't have any remorse for her at all. I've heard about her mom being involved and stuff like that. Well,
How and what?
maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Next video. It's so safe. There's nothing more safe than me filming you and people being able to see it, and me educating you while exploiting you and telling people, like, look, this is what you do. This is how you please them. Dude, she is twisted.
Yeah.
She is a sick individual. Young men at 18 are legally adults, but they may lack the emotional and cognitive development in order to fully understand the long-term implications of participating in an act like this. That's the problem. Pimps exploit the same level of gray areas, using consent as a shield with disregarding the manipulation and pressure that's involved. She is doing the exact same thing. Why does this all matter? Let me just... Okay.
It does matter.
First of all, there's the glamorization or the exploitation. Social media and platforms like OnlyFans are blurring the lines between empowerment and exploitation. Figures like Bonnie Blue market their lifestyle as liberation and exciting, masking the predatory undertones, normalizing predatory behavior when public figures...
Saw that video we watched yesterday about the whole Instagram model industry and that kind of stuff, like the influencer models and stuff on Instagram getting invited to Dubai, spend a day at Dubai, you know, get 15,000 to go to Dubai, or 150,000 to come to Dubai and to spend a day at the races, and all of a sudden, but they have to hand over their passport and their phone and all this sort of stuff, and then by the time they're over there, they've got nowhere to go and nothing to do. And then, like, they force them into sexual acts with their, like, billionaire clients and stuff. And then they start to use the footage and photos and stuff that they take without their knowledge, doing these acts, and blackmail them. And they think, well, you know, I can't go anywhere. I've got nothing else to do. I can't go home. You know, they've posted the photos to my family and stuff, so I can't show my face there again. Oh, well, I might as well keep doing it and make some good money. You know, it's... Oh, wow, it's ridiculous. But that's what she's getting at right now, is that, yeah, like, these kids don't know any better, and, like, she's recording these acts, and she's gonna post them, obviously, and, like, people that are subscribing, like, what if, you know, one of the kid's dad's friends subscribes to this chick, you know, like that other one that we watched yesterday where that bird that slept with 101 people and that kind of stuff, and then she's like, her dad's friends are subscribers to her content. Like, really? And she thinks it's all normal. Oh, so twisted.
Figures target 18-year-olds under the guises of helping them. It normalizes grooming tactics. This sets a dangerous precedent for younger audiences consuming this type of content. There's been so many people that have been outright spoken about barely legal when it came to women. And now we are going down the line of men now and young boys. And it's a sick and twisted environment.
It is.
The lack of the accountability, the current legal framework struggles to address digital exploitation, leaving gaps for manipulators to operate unchecked. I guarantee you, I have a feeling it might not be right now, but it's going to be down the road. Something's going to happen and something's going to come out where her behavior gets called out, and there's going to be some legal guidelines that are set up.
This is my location. You know, if you'd like to make content with me, you know, you're welcome to join the queue.
Right, now this picture...
So hold on.
No.
Sorry, Andy. So then people come to wherever you are, guys, or girls, or anybody.
Don't need guys, but yeah.
Okay, and they stand outside in a line, and then...
A very formal, very British sort of queue style thing, yes.
Right.
Do you never feel frightened? Do you never feel intimidated?
I'm more nervous, I think, for the first few. I'm like, oh, don't know what to expect. Because you don't know who's going to walk through that door or who's going to be, in the queue. I don't have set requirements for people. So, yeah, I get more nervous, I think, than them for the first few videos.
And I was just going to say, that picture we showed...
Yes.
Now, who's in that picture? Is that your mum?
No, that's me.
That's you. So I can't see from wherever... But it was your mum that helped make the sign. So you've created... There we are. There's your mum. You've created a family business.
Yes.
And you're kind of, I suppose, do you look after your family? Do you take them on nice holidays?
100%, yeah, like, it's changed my life and it's changed my family's life for the better, and I want to, you know, if I'm having a good
That one hit real close to home. So it's a family that is look, the way that I was targeted was in a really a way that was very simple, but also very complicated, and a way that involved a family that recruited and pimped and trafficked multiple people. So seeing her smile like it's such a great thing is very scary. Despite working within legal boundaries, the problem is that the psychological and operational patterns of pimping is what Bonnie's actions align with. The key difference is that the setting is on a digital platform and it targets young men instead of women. I'm so glad to see so many people taking this seriously. For profit-driven sexual exploitation of vulnerable individuals equals pimping. Creating financial dependency through monetized content equals pimping. Targeting inexperience and youth as a recruiting tactic equals pimping. Final statement that I have to make about her before this last video, which I might say one last thing. Bonnie Blue's behavior represents a modern iteration of pimping, rooted in manipulation, exploitation, and the commodification of vulnerable individuals. By targeting young, inexperienced men for explicit content, she mirrors the same predatory behaviors found in traffickers and pimps, adapting these methods to the digital era. Even with legal consent, the power imbalance and developmental gaps highlight the ethical concerns surrounding her actions, raising questions about the evolving nature of exploitation in the social age. I'll go into the next video.
where they was a bit gutted and was like, you know, we wouldn't choose this for you. But that was at the start. If I ask them now, it's a complete different story. They see how happy I am, that it is safe, and that the main thing is, like any parents, they want their children to be happy, and they can see the change of me. As you know, if I'm working in an office.
I'm sure her family is happy. They are all profiting off of this. They are all benefiting from it. I wouldn't see a reason why that they wouldn't, unless they had a moral high ground of this is not right and it doesn't matter how much money you throw at us. Ethically, it's not right. And when she talks the way that she talks, she really pushes away from actual issues. Like, she doesn't care about what's going to happen to any of these boys. She thinks that what she's doing is so right. And the problem is that I'm not sorry to say this, but I'm going to be very honest here. The only reason why we have all the things that we have when it comes to OnlyFans, corn, all of these industries is because men are the consumers. And if men would stop consuming so much of this stuff, there wouldn't be any of this. There wouldn't be as much as this. But the problem is that
she is so right with that, though. Like, honestly, if the amount of money that men are spending on OnlyFans is ridiculous. Like, some of those OnlyFans creators are making millions of dollars. And we're talking like, what? How much per subscription is it? It's like $5 or $6 or something like that per month. And like, some of them are making millions of dollars a month. So that's million. Oh, wow. I don't even want to do the math on that. That's shocking.
men do. And that's a big issue. And young boys, I mean, how many of you guys got introduced to corn at a very young age, way too young, and look back and see how it might have influenced you now and how it might have made you feel now like, I wish I didn't consume that because it gave me an unrealistic expectation. She's giving these young men an unrealistic expectation, because the only person that's going to give you a realistic expectation is your actual partner, not somebody that is benefiting from exploiting you in order for her to make money. That's the problem here is she is trying to blur the lines, and the reality is those boys are going to learn over time, but they will forever have that scar, or they will forever have Bonnie and what she perceived as normal or acceptable or the safest experience. How is videotaping somebody losing their virginity safe? I have no idea how this woman thinks this way, but believe me, I got a little passionate there and I had to slow myself down.
Yeah, we saw.
She needs to tread carefully, because she's treading on waters that involve people's young sons. And I'm going to say that if anyone did this to my sons, it would definitely probably stand into a legal lawsuit where new laws would be made. And I really hope that places do allow for new laws to be made. Let me add one more of these, and then, let me go over the next one.
It's the fact that you use terms like barely legal. You say that you're babysitting for kids, I think is the word.
No, I've never used babysitting.
Sorry, babysitting for adults. You did in a podcast with Lottie Moss.
But it's like the barely legal, that's what the media gave me. And the media like to penalise
But you also
women.
now use that terminology. You also say that you're educating. But I'm wondering, who are you educating? Because a lot of your daughters, but also for...
She seems a bit cross and disgusted with it as well. You can see it, like she's like not letting up on the barely legal part. Oh, it's so good to see these women call this woman out instead of going down that whole feminist woman power stuff. You know, oh, she's empowering herself by doing it and rah rah rah, whereas they're actually seeing the bad side of it, which is fantastic.
For our sons, and when you say
Not
you're
for the kids,
educating, what kind of messaging are you putting out there? Because also I've heard you use say phrases such as women are lazy. If they're not going to give sex to their husbands, then those husbands, dads and barely legal teenagers have a right. Women are not the sexual property of men, and women don't exist to pleasure men, and I never hear you talk about female pleasure.
She's trying to like backpedal away from the reality of what this woman is saying.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is everything that woman was saying was very spot on. And that it's more of like, the thing is that she's marketing herself in a certain way that is working for her. I'm talking about Bonnie. And
she's marketing herself as like a toy. You know what I mean? Like the SEX toy. It's just I see where she's coming from with the whole giving the 18-year-olds a unrealistic expectation, because they're coming into it seeing her as, you know, you wanna, you know, get down and dirty, let's go, let's do it, sort of thing, you know, like seeing it as a toy. Then when they're going to get a partner, they're going to expect it every single time. That's pretty much how like violent man-beating husbands and rapists are born, basically, I think. But let's see.
As somebody who is recruited, people who are involved in recruitment have a certain way that they talk, which you can see it in her. She's talking in a really nice way, and she's really like, she's making eye contact, she's engaging, she's able to allow all these manipulation tactics that allow people to think, oh wow, she's really engaging, she's talks really nice. And that's the problem, is that she comes off a certain way and people do not see her as a predator, but the reality is she is a predator.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. That's
the reality. It didn't matter if I was trafficked at 19 years old. The people who got me, the 3 people who were involved in that were all predators. Every single one of them. and what they did had, I mean, I can just say I have seen some really dark things, and I look back and I cannot say that I regret it, because I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be here maybe trying to do this, trying to figure out like what's my purpose here? What was the purpose of going through all of that and finding...
Oh, I hate seeing her like that. That's poor girl. I think she's found her purpose. That's for sure. Making content like this and making people aware of the people that are around, and particularly like, you know, these two blonde girls, right? Two English blonde girls that are just absolutely horrific. But looking at them, you know, you get that whole normalized, you know, oh, they're pretty, you know, it's the beauty standard, right? The blonde hair, the good looking, you know, and that kind of stuff. It's the beauty standard, but deep down, without knowing and um without her making her content, you wouldn't know what kind of a deplorable monsters they are, like, honestly. No, good on her. I
each
think
step
she's
one after
fantastic.
another to try to have that guidance. And I realized that I went through this for a reason. I genuinely believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's hard. And
Yeah.
it's hard to listen to this woman. It reminds me of people that just tried to make an excuse. She's deflecting.
It's more difficult seeing how upset you get seeing this kind of content, to be honest. Like in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to see this kind of stuff. This stuff wouldn't exist. But the world's not perfect, and that's just the way it is. So, you know, hopefully you just stay strong, keep doing the content that you're doing, because it's absolutely fantastic. Like, honestly, it's your last video about her with the 101 men. That was a big eye opener for me, and hopefully for the people watching my stream as well. It's kind of paints a very detailed picture, because behind every smile there's damage. So
She's making an excuse, and the reality is that I hope and I pray that young men and boys will stop allowing themselves to fall into the virtual reality world of, you know, this digital platforms, to try to make it seem like that's normal life and like that's reality, and instead allow themselves to experience things hands-on without the manipulation of women or women trying to make money. And the same, you know, for men. There are many men who have been in this industry that come out and talk about the depression, how much it affected their actual sex life, how much it affected their romance life, and even men that fell strongly into addiction, and even men that have unalived themselves. These are terrible stories.
they are.
At the cost, it's almost like every time that somebody watches Korn or OnlyFans or whatever, or goes and sees a prostitute or something, every time somebody does this, male or female, we are getting off for our pleasure at their demise. And that shouldn't feel good for anybody.
To build on that also, I said it on my last stream as well. Like I'm in my birthday was yesterday, so I'm 41 now. But when I was younger, there was this news article. 60 Minutes was talking about the corn addictions and stuff. And this is back in early 2000s or something like that. I think, yeah, early 2000s. And how it was destroying marriages because the husbands were developing this unrealistic expectation in sex, and when they had when they were intimate with their wives, the normal sexual act with their wife, the connection and everything wasn't enough, and some men became impotent, and other men needed to watch pornography to become aroused and that kind of stuff. So that's the damage that that does is just incredible. So, and like it's so easily accessed now, and kids are accessing it. These like teens and preteens and stuff they're all able to access it straight up, unless the parent actually has some kind of filtering at home or monitoring at home or restrictions at home with the internet, then these kids can access it freely no matter what. And accessing that kind of content at a young age with an undeveloped brain, like we're going to end up with, like, 25 to 30-year-old impotent men that can't get off without watching porn. And it's just absolutely terrifying because they're growing up seeing that and like no imagination because of TikToks and all that kind of stuff. Just keep scrolling. Your imagination's gone now. So, and like they need the visual stimuli. So it's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So, but still got women like this that are still trying to help young men, which is just
I'm just gonna leave it at this.
Shouldn't need to happen, but it's
and
good that people like her are around.
Try not to delve in it because trust me, when I've come from the lifestyle that I have a little bit of like what I would call street laugh and a street attitude that can come out sometimes. And Bonnie Blue would definitely not want to. If she met me, I guarantee you that I would probably disintegrate her completely and show her for exactly who she really is. And I hope that I just did, and I hope that I allowed people to see that this woman is in no way caring about an 18-year-old learning about all this stuff from her in the little bit of time that she's going to have. They can learn this stuff in a much more safer, non-exploitative way that does not come at the cost of somebody who just turned 18. She's nuts. She's absolutely nuts. And karma will get her one day. Mm-hmm. So
I do believe what comes around goes around, but not so much.
I don't think there's really more that I can say because
it's still the same thing.
There's not really much more I can say.
She is absolutely brilliant. No, I love watching her videos. She's got great sense of humor as well, which is absolutely fantastic for all that she's been through. But yeah, definitely check out her channel, check out her videos and stuff. She's absolutely amazing, and hopefully we've all kind of learned something today. And it was definitely an eye opener for me. I didn't even know about that bird, that bluebell chick, whatever her name is, Bonnie Blue. I didn't even know about her. I knew that there was another one, but I never knew who it was. Because I've heard it referenced in the videos about that other Sheila that did the 101 Men, which, yeah. So it seems everything's getting more extreme. You know what I mean? Like the OnlyFans was, to start off with, was just basically, I don't know, I've never really seen it, to be honest, so I'm just sort of speculating here, but from what I understand, OnlyFans was more, at the very beginning, was about private chats with the girls, and then it turned into sexual acts with the girls, and then it turned into basically the girls becoming private porn stars for specific men, sort of, fulfilling the men's fantasies on request, so to speak. And then it went into, like I just said, men requesting certain things and then them fulfilling the videos and sending them the videos with the specific fantasies fulfilled. And then it went to doing that to sleeping with 30 something guys in a day. Then it went from 30 guys to 101 guys in a day. And then it went to sleeping with a bunch of 18-year-olds. Now it's what? Sleeping with 1,000 men or something? She wants to break the record of that German chick or whatever it was that did like 900 and something men in a day. Oh. I don't know anymore. Honestly, it's just. The world has gone mental. Absolutely mental. Like, I don't even know where to start with a lot of it. Oh, well, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, everyone, and